Good enough to join us here at courtside. Kimberly is a shelter insurance agent owner. Is that the right way to say it?
That's the right way to say it, yes.
And so you own your own insurance agency.
I do.
With shelter insurance. You're just right down the street here.
I am at 244 West Mill Street.
Hey.
Just literally right down the street from William Jewell.
You have a connection to Jewell men's basketball. Let's talk about that.
I do. My nephew, Christopher Morrison, is number 33 for the William Jewell Cardinals.
You know, he's a young guy that's getting more and more playing time, playing better and better. But you told me not too long ago that he is really an aggressive player, and you have kind of yet to see that from him.
That's true. Christopher has an amazing God-given talent, and he has really played well in high school. He played on the same team with the same guys for 4 years, and he was just a powerhouse on the court. And he's playing a little bit conservative here at William Jewell, so we're excited to see him loosen up a little bit and starting to play a little more ball.
Well, did you have a good Valentine's Day?
Had a great Valentine's Day.
Good,
Thank you.
Good.
How about you?
Well, I've had this terrible cold. Would you like to hear all about it? I've been telling everybody about it.
I would love to hear all about it.
Oh, no, you don't want to hear all about it. Let's talk about shelter insurance, though. If you own the agency, what does that entail? How many people work for you and all that?
You bet. The way that Shelter does it, we're a captive agent, which means that we work specifically for Shelter. And we are able to sell other lines of insurance through Shelter, but we do not represent, we're not like a broker. So Shelter is headquartered in Columbia, Missouri, and we have agents throughout our entire footprint. And so I am responsible for my book of business, which is about 1,500 policies, about $1 million in revenue.
Wow, 1,500?
1,500 policies, yeah.
Wow. How long have you been doing it?
I've been doing it just a little over 2 years.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah,
That's
thank you.
pretty amazing success. Can you give us kind of a reason why Shelter is selling so well?
Oh, you bet. You know, one of the things I really enjoy about Shelter is the fact that we consider all opportunities that we have. We're very responsible in our insurance practices, and so we're able to pay out on our claims if there are any. And we're very competitive in a large number of policies, dwelling policies, rental policies, boats, motorcycles. So we really have niche markets where we can beat most of our competitors.
Well, speaking of competition, there's a lot of stuff out there from the online insurances, the discount insurances. How do you compete with that?
You know, thank you for bringing that up because we do have a lot of competition. In fact, you drive down Mill Street and there's like 3 or 4 insurance agents right on Mill Street. But one of our largest competitors, especially for this generation, is people are used to doing it online. Mm-hmm. The difference between doing it online through an online or web insurance company that doesn't have agents is you don't have anybody to advocate for you.
Sure.
And so I think that's one of the things that sets Shelter apart is the fact that you have an agent that you have a relationship with that knows your business, that knows your home, knows what your home looks like, and that I can call the president of Shelter Insurance if I have a question about a claim or if a claim was denied, and I can actually be an advocate for my customer.
Well, Kimberly, I would imagine that you do have some online features that help customers.
We do. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can go online, you can get quotes, you can manage your accounts online as well. You can make payments online. So we do have all of that benefits of an online company with the added benefit of having an actual agent.
Right, so it's a nice combination of the two.
It is,
right?
it is.
Here's a couple of things that we're passing out here. These little koozies with the Shelter insurance. I think we can get them close enough so you can see. They come in 2 varieties. I'll let you hang on to that one. And they have the Shelter insurance and the Jewell on the backside. We've been giving these out for a few months, and so thank you for sponsoring these. They've been pretty successful. We hand them out to the students and to people who come around, and you're on the backside, and we appreciate your sponsorship of that.
Absolutely. I'm glad to be a part of this.
What are your goals in the insurance industry?
You know, for me personally?
Yeah.
Personally, my goal, I was in banking for 29 years.
Okay.
I hate to admit that, but I was. And so I really knew everything about my industry.
Started when you were 6.
I was 6, you're right. Yeah. I knew a lot about my specific industry in banking. And as I got into insurance, I thought I knew about insurance because I had a homeowner's policy and auto policy and all those things.
Sure.
And so really one of my goals is to serve my customers to the best of my ability and to educate them on what they have and maybe what they need. You never find out that you're underinsured until something happens. So just making sure that they understand what's available to them, not wanting them to be overinsured, but wanting them to be covered. And so just growing my business.
Well, is that the thing, not knowing how much insurance you need until you need it? Is that the thing maybe that people don't realize? Is that the number one thing that you would say, this is what you need to know about insurance?
Absolutely. There's 2 things I've learned in the last little over 2 years is that oftentimes people want just what's affordable or the least amount that they can have to pay for insurance. Well, that can leave you at a huge disadvantage. So just understanding, okay, I want it affordable, what I can afford, but what can you not afford if an accident happens.
Right.
So you might want to pay a little bit more every 6 months to be covered in case you had an accident. State minimum limits of liability is $10,000 for property damage. You can't, if you hit a vehicle today, you can't replace it for $10,000.
Yep, that's true.
So you might pay a few more dollars every month or every 6 months in order to have $50,000 worth of coverage. So,
okay, well, let me ask you this one, Kimberly. Is there, for an agent, if somebody was thinking about going into your business, is there tons and tons of paperwork? Do you sit in a corner all day and do your little charts and stuff, or what's your job like?
I was going to say, you know better than that, because we've seen each other at a networking event. So that's, there's a huge component to it. You asked earlier, which I did not answer. I actually have 2 people in my office. I have two part-time people in my office besides me. I am actually agent licensed and insured, and I have an assistant who's licensed for insurance as well. But no, it's going out and meeting people. It's talking to people. It's networking. It's going out and meeting with your clients. It's also doing a lot of paperwork and managing the back office. But typically, I have a staff to do that for me.
I mostly was teasing you about that because I know you're not that kind of person.
No, I'm not the kind of person to sit in an office all day. I couldn't do that.
I want to cover 2 more things, and we can do them in either order. I want you to talk about your family a little bit, and I want people to know how to get in touch with you. Where do you want to start?
Let's talk about my family. It's always one of my favorite subjects. I am married. I've been married for 14 years. I have a wonderful 10-year-old daughter and a wonderful 7-year-old daughter, too, and they both play basketball.
Oh, good.
So they're sure looking up to their cousin who's playing basketball for William Jewell.
Sure.
And we live just north of here. And as far as how can you get a hold of me, you can call me at 816-781-9141, or you can go to the Shelter Insurance website and type in Kimberly Sidden, or you can email me at ksidden@shelterinsurance.com.
Those are all good ways.
That's right.
Thank you for taking the time with us this afternoon. Kimberly Sidden has been our guest here at halftime of the University of Illinois Springfield William Jewell College basketball game, and we'll be right back with the second half after this.